Fox Local.
Hi, welcome. We are live at Michigan and Lake. We are in our newsroom where we talk about the things we're talking about today on our newscast. So our newscast starts at actually normally 9 o'clock, but we have baseball on tonight. So we're coming on after the game, which will probably be between 10 and 10:30. So we'll see. So right now, I want to bring in our producer, Ryan, who's typing away. Take your time, Ryan. I know you're doing a lot of work.
Oh, don't worry. I got time for this. I always got time for this. How's it going, Dawn?
I love when you join me, always. So there's so many things to talk about. Well, first, let's get to the headlines because we wanted to discuss some of the stories that we're covering in our newscast. So which ones are popping out for you tonight?
So the one thing is something we talked about last week, actually, is the CTA.
Yeah.
There was a shooting on the red line. You know, it really spikes fear in commuters. Like, you know, this happens yet again.
Yes.
And so people are wondering, like, you know, okay, it's happening again. What's being done now? Because in my thought process is, you know, are we seeing any improvement? So that's really what people are really worried about right now.
The safety.
Yes, exactly.
And this is personal for you. Don't you take the train?
I take it every day.
Yeah.
I take the brown line every single day. And, you know, there are some times where I have to take the red line as well because, you know, you just have to get into work somehow. People have to get into work to and fro.
Yeah.
I remember taking the red line at about 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. in the morning, and it was a scary thing.
Was it? What are some of the stories that you remember when you would take it at that hour?
Well, some of them can't be said on air because it's just that bad. But there's a lot of running around, loud music, people smoking on the train. Just a lot of movement going back and forth, people sleeping on the train, and then there's a couple other more disgusting things, and I'll let you envision that yourself.
Okay, you don't need to tell us.
Exactly.
So in all the times, in all the years that you've taken the train, how do you feel personally? Do you think that it's gotten worse? Would you say it's gotten worse, or is it about the same as when you took it years ago?
I would say it's just about even, and there's a reason why, is because I haven't really seen, like, I've seen more officers out there, but what are these officers doing? I see a ton of them at Clark and Lake just sitting and standing around. I know they're keeping us safe, but I know I would like to see them patrolling so that I can see, okay, they're actually doing it. They're actually keeping me safe. But I would say it's relatively safe with some lines.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think people would feel more comfortable if they saw these people in action.
So when you were younger, you grew up here just like I did. I remember feeling fine taking the bus and the train. Did you back in the day compared to now?
Yes, I did. And the reason being is because I never searched out trouble. Like, and as a high schooler, I would come to the downtown all the time. I'd take the Metro, I'd take the CTA. You know, it was a normal thing for me to do, and I felt very comfortable as long as I didn't search for trouble. And that's the one motto I keep with myself all the time is, don't go searching for trouble, and trouble won't find you.
And you probably keep your head on a swivel.
I keep my head on a swivel 100% because I don't know what's coming at me. There could be someone flying through, jumping through cars. There could be some person, you know, that comes up to me that I might not want to talk to.
Yeah.
So it's just, you know, you got to keep your head on a swivel and don't go looking for trouble.
So what are a couple other stories that you are looking forward to helping us tell tonight on the newscast?
Well, gas prices. You know, a lot of people look at the gas stations around town. They see them spiking all the time. That's hitting our wallet very hard.
It is.
And so people are wondering, what's next? Are the prices going to be coming down anytime soon? And so we got that covered for you.
That was the talk of the newsroom earlier, the different prices.
Exactly. Lucas Tomlinson, he's our Fox News reporter, very good at his job. He's going to be giving us an update at 10 p.m. after the World Baseball Classic about what's coming next in the war with Iran.
Well, speaking of updates, I want an update on the Rockathon.
Okay.
So you've been very involved. By the way, he went to Lyons Township, and after all these years, he's still very involved in the school. So we want to talk a couple fundraisers because I did one this weekend as well. I went back to my high school.
Isn't it great, though?
It's such a funny coincidence. But yes, it's wonderful to go back. So I want to talk about yours, though, because this is like a 72-hour thing, right?
Exactly, and it just came to an end today.
Okay.
So just a quick recap. I know people who have tuned in have heard me say this all since last Thursday.
You're a good promoter. This is good.
But I got to plug it. This is my last time I'm plugging it. Rockathon just came to an end at Lyons Township. It's their high school radio station, WLTL. They raised more than $24,000. That, just as student managers.
That's amazing.
And the one thing I really appreciate about this program is that, you know, and I keep harping on it, it prepares them for actual real life.
Yeah.
One thing we had to do when I was there was go out to the community and sell. So imagine a high schooler going out there to a business and saying...
So you're saying you could have been a salesperson as well.
Exactly. That's the thing. But it taught me that part of the industry as well. And so it got me confidence in, you know, just going out and say, hey, why not just go ask them and see if they want to donate? And we got a couple of business to donate, and that's how you get your start at Rockathon. But $24,000 is nothing to be shy about. That's a lot of money for a local radio station, all by students.
And yes, that's what I was going to say, especially when it's kids who are doing all the work. That's wonderful.
They get this experience. They take it into their next career. I know I took it to Indiana University. I took it to my first market in Dayton, and I've taken it back to here.
How long have you been in the business, Ryan?
I would say about 7 years. I would say 7 years. I started out as a part-time photog. Like I said, I was up at like 2 a.m. Giving those driving shots, and then I just kind of kept working my way up from part-time photog to being a producer, and then I went to Charlotte, and now I'm back. I'm glad to be back home because it just makes a difference. Yeah. Where you're working.
Have you ever thought if there's anything else you'd be doing, what would it be besides sales?
No.
Besides sales?
You know, one time I thought I would be in radio. Like, that's the thing.
I think you could do that, Ryan.
I thought I would be in radio at this point.
You started in radio at school, kind of.
Exactly. If you asked 18-year-old Ryan, he said radio, 100%. But, you know, life throws you curveballs from time to time, and you adapt, and now I'm here on TV.
Well, I will say that you can put a newscast together very quickly and very efficiently. So I think you're doing the right thing.
I give credit all to the people that were before me. You know, they taught me very well, and I just keep taking from every single person and put it in myself, and that's how I became who I am.
Well, great job. Well, I also want to show you this video, Ryan. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but we went to the Ignatius Gala this weekend. Our photographer shot me. So I MC that gala every year. It's probably been 14 or 15 years now.
How was it?
It was great, and this is the thing that's so wonderful about what Ignatius does is everybody pays tuition, but they have tuition assistance programs. This is the biggest fundraiser of the year that they have for kids who cannot afford to go to the school, who need a little help. And so when I started doing this, they were probably raising between $500,000 and $700,000, you know, 13, 14 years ago. Before I left for the evening, they had raised in one night $5 million.
How did they do that?
Isn't that something?
How did they do that?
Well, what I have noticed over the years is the live auction items have changed. So, you know, they were much smaller back in the day, and now they are trips for a week to Tuscany or a suite for a concert. Last year, there was a suite for the Taylor Swift concert. People are donating a lot of nice items, and there are a lot of families who are fortunate to be able to donate a lot of money. So, you know, this year they brought Jeff Morrow, the Sandwich King from the Food Network, on stage with me, who was cracking all kinds of jokes that I would consider not necessarily appropriate for a Jesuit school crowd. But the parents loved it, and, you know, it just loosens everyone up. So by the time the live auction comes on, they're starting some of these packages at $25,000.
Also loosens the wallet up, too.
It does, it does. And so does probably the cocktails. But, yeah, so they were starting with some of these live auction items at $25,000. There were at least 2 or 3 that went for $100,000 each.
Wow.
So it's really something, I mean, to be in a room like that and also see how generous people are, but also just the amount that they're able to donate in one night for something like that.
For yourself, how does it feel to give back? Because for me personally, it makes a world of it. Like, I feel so good when I'm able to give back to the community. So what does it feel like for
That's
you?
why I do it, because obviously we don't get paid to do these things.
No.
We're spending our,
I did this
you do it for free and out of the goodness of your heart. But it's nice to go back and walk the halls of where I went to school. And, you know, the way Ignatius does it is they don't do like some of these schools and rent out hotel ballrooms. They do it right in the gym. And they just cover the tables and they bring in food, and it's just a coming home, so to speak. And they just decorate it really well. You saw some of the video.
Yeah, so where does all that money go towards? Like, what does it benefit?
It all goes to tuition assistance. So there's some kids who come from big families and the parents can't pay all of this tuition, you know. And so even if they can pay some of it but not all of it, they're helping pay for the kid to go to school. And so it's nice, you know, there are a lot of students that they're able to support and kind of keep the school going as well. But all of the money, all of it goes to tuition assistance, helping kids attend.
And that's millions of dollars, millions of dollars. That's making the biggest difference in the world, because it's providing them with the resources that they need to succeed.
Yes, and they're still counting, by the way. But before I let you go, you were talking to me about, switching complete subjects now, a Blackhawks player who has passed at 63 from cancer. So tell me about him.
So this one kind of hit me hard when I was over the weekend, when I learned about it on Saturday. Blackhawks broadcaster Troy Murray, he just passed away at 63 years old just this past Saturday. His family actually lived out in the western suburbs. And I knew them. I wouldn't say I know them very well, but I played with his son on the baseball team. And his name's Blake. And he was just a wonderful person to be around. There were a lot of bullies at my high school, but Blake never changed.
So his dad taught him well, huh?
Exactly. That's the thing. It's like, you know, Blake was just a stand-up guy all the time. Actually, Troy Murray was my soccer coach when I was growing up as a kid.
Now, did he play hockey at all? Troy himself?
Yes, he played. Okay. Blake and Troy played a lot together. Troy was on the Blackhawks for many years.
Okay.
You know, after his career was done, he became a broadcaster. And the thing I remember about Troy is that he's a staple in the community, not just a Blackhawks player. When I was in elementary school, ice rink just opened up in Gilbert Park, out in, you know, the western suburbs, the Grange, Western Springs area, and Mr. Murray was there to cut the ribbon. And, you know, I'm over there I'm like 11 or 12 years old. I'm very young at this point. And I have this photo of my kids' soccer team with Mr. Murray right in front, and I'm like, hey, could you sign this? He remembered me. He remembered who I was.
That's awesome.
And that made a world of a difference. And he's going to be really missed in Chicago. Like, everyone's going to miss him.
Well, thank you for telling us.
No worries.
And I know you got to go back to the
Yeah.
But thank you, Ryan.
Of course.
We're going to bring in our meteorologist next, Mike Kaplan, who's standing by. So come on in, join me, my
But
friend.
I'm going to have to walk in front of you. I've told never upstage the stars here. I'm glad that Ryan had that story about Troy Murray, because I remember watching him. I've been a big Blackhawks fan for many years.
Yeah.
He was a really good player, but I thought he was an even better color announcer. He was really good. Yeah, and Ryan's agreeing. And, you know, to hear his stories about what he did there in the community, it just kind of elevates his stock in my eyes.
Yeah, well, that's wonderful to hear. So let me ask you this before we get to the weather. What's it like to work a complete opposite shift than you're used to? Mike is on the morning show, as you're well aware, and he's filling in for Emily this week.
She didn't have her baby yet.
No, she did not.
She did not have her baby yet.
She just took a little time off.
Yes.
Getting ready for baby.
A little pre-baby time off. And, you know, they tagged me and said, you're it. So go and work for Emily here. And, you know, naturally, in addition to it being just totally opposite hours of what I keep, we have a late night coming up tonight because we have the baseball game on. And then I think tomorrow is going to be a late night because we're going to have thunderstorms in the area and some pretty strong ones.
And you have to watch that, yes.
Yeah, but so far it's actually been fun. I get to see people that I've never met.
Can you believe it?
I've been here for over 10 years, and I think I may have seen you in the hall once or twice here and there.
Isn't that wild? I mean, let's think about that. I've been here 16. He's been here
10
over
and
10, and we have never met.
No.
That's what's wild.
But we spent a lot of time talking yesterday. And I kind of like, I feel like I know you now. I mean, I knew you went to Duke, and I've been a big, huge Duke fan since I worked down there in North Carolina many years ago. So
yeah, we talked about Durham. We did. We talked about our families. There's a lot we just didn't know.
That's right. Yeah, Dawn, Mike, nice to meet you. All right, here we go.
Yeah. So normally, what time do you get up in the morning?
2:03.
Why
2:03 because. Right, because every minute matters
it does at that hour.
That time of morning. This is a man who used to work that early morning stuff
I did too, Mike.
Every minute matters. So I got it down to a science, so that I'm kind of, you know, out the door at exactly 2:27 or whatever it happens to be, and I get in here and do my thing here. And but this is, you know, a strange time for me to be working. I'm usually by now. What is it? It's 8:43. Yeah, I'm asleep.
You're dreaming.
I am asleep by now.
So does it take you a really long time to drive in at that hour? Probably not as long.
No, it's me and people who have been overserved.
And the deer that might cross the road.
That's right, exactly, And I have seen some pretty bad driving going on, but traffic is much better at that time of morning, and I relish that. Coming and going, I don't see the same amount of traffic.
Yeah, I'm sure you relish that.
Because I drive in from far southern Canada, as you know.
I know
I'm
you
making
live far.
a big commute from northern Lake County there, Don.
Far southern. Well, tell us about the highlights or lowlights. the temperatures. But the highlights for the weather this week, today was one of them.
Today was unbelievable. Nice. I think it was the nicest day of the year.
Yeah.
Sunshine. We broke the record of 73 degrees. That's what we hit. The old record was 69. And you're thinking, all right, spring is officially here. And then you suddenly realize, oh, wait a minute, it's Chicago and it's March. Stuff can change just like that. And that's going to happen tomorrow. Temperatures will not be as warm unless you're way south. If you're in the Kankakee River Valley, it may be 74 tomorrow afternoon. And if you're up by where I live, it'll be 44 degrees. And where that warmer air is where I think the strongest risk of the worst thunderstorms is going to be. But anywhere in Chicagoland is at risk of large hail, damaging winds, and even some risk of tornadoes. I still think the greatest tornado risk is going to be well south of I-80, but we're going to stay on top of this as we go into tomorrow. So a day to be weather ready coming after this spectacular day that we had today.
Okay, one last question. Can we have permission to ignore Monday's temperatures?
She saw that. She saw that. I've been thinking about changing my 7-day to a 6-day for that very reason.
Just drop that one off.
Yeah, it's 40 degrees colder than what we had today. That's the high on Monday.
It's going to make for a very tough Monday.
It is. It is. But the good news for me is I'll be working the morning shift on Monday.
Yeah, you'll be back
I'll
to
be
that.
back to my normal thing.
But it has been an absolute joy having you.
Well, let's see. After I do this for a few more days, let's see if you still think that. Let's revisit this on Thursday.
Yeah.
Tell me if you still feel the same way about me.
Well, thanks for stepping in for a bit.
See you here a little bit later.
Yeah, later.
You got it.
We're going to be at 9 on digital, though.
Okay.
So we'll see him
I'm going to go
first.
set up some more weather and do some other stuff.
Thank you.
I'm going to talk to Ryan about Troy Murray.
Yeah. We want to bring in Joni Lum, who is reporting, of course, for the 9 on digital, and then whenever we come on after baseball.
Whenever you need
Probably
me.
around 10:15.
I'm here, just like Mike Kaplan, you know?
Yeah. So you heard Ryan talking about the CTA.
Heard him talking about his
riding it.
experiences.
Yeah, and so Joni was covering the CTA today, specifically a call for a safety plan. So first tell us about that.
Okay, so there have been incidents on the CTA, as you know, and some really horrible ones. So the federal government is holding the CTA responsible, saying improve safety. It's what the riders want to do it, or you're going to lose a lot of federal funding. While this is going on, there's a double shooting on the red line. The red line, the busiest line in the CTA system, goes from the south side all the way to the northern border. People use it to commute. 2 men shot early Sunday morning. Good news is the police caught 3 people. 1 has already been charged.
Okay. We're looking at video from
they're
the
investigating that. Right. It was a huge response for that shooting. Anyway.
And the arrest just happened almost right before you were on air? Or when did that happen today?
The arrest happened pretty quickly. The charges happened today. So that was the update from Chicago Police. And now there's a group that's going out there. If, you know, the CTA has to come up with this plan, they'll have to enact the plan, but there's a group that we're familiar with, Violence Interrupters. They say that they're going to be riding the trains to make riders feel safe. They went out to just like build bridges with riders, let them know who they are so that there are more eyes out there. They know crime happens when there's an opportunity for crime. Might be the middle of the night, that's when this shooting happened. They want to be out there so that riders feel less alone.
So the Violence Interrupters were at which location today? Was it 79th?
Yeah, they came right to 79th Street where that shooting happened over the weekend. Riders who take that line all the time are probably aware that there has been gun violence on that line. And they still got to get places, so they were out there to make them feel a little better.
Yeah. So was it tough to talk to people as they were hopping off and on?
They're in a hurry,
today?
you know.
That's what I wondered. Yeah. So how did you grab them today?
They're in a hurry. You know, we didn't get to talk to a lot of people, but a lot of people did stop because they saw some friendly faces, and that's a good thing when you're commuting.
Yeah. So have you taken the train lately on the CTA, or just covered it mostly?
Not lately. You know, I used to take the train, and my kids take the train. When kids in public school take public transportation,
right?
I really love that. But I worry at certain hours and certain lines, and you know, they're urban smart.
Right.
Not just my kids, but all kids who are trying to get somewhere. And the red line is one where, you know, maybe I don't want somebody to take it to certain stops.
Right. We worry about that.
We do.
Well, thank you, Joni.
You're welcome.
Thanks for your coverage today, and we'll see you on TV.
Be right out there.
And thank you for joining us at Michigan and Lake. We have a lot to talk about today. We also are going to talk about a home invasion that happened in Winnetka, which was a really odd story. We'll talk about that tonight at 9, and a number of other stories. So join us first again Online, we're going to be 9 to 9:30 on digital, because right now on air on Fox 32 is the baseball classic between Mexico and USA. And at last check, USA was winning, if I could try to see the score. But anyway, that's on our air, and we're going to join live on our newscast at about 10:30. But for now, we'll be online 9 to 9:30. So thanks for joining us at Michigan and Lake from the newsroom. We'll see you later.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. This is the map you're going to be seeing a lot of between today and tomorrow. The lines, the colors may change slightly moving forward. But basically what this means is tomorrow, maybe specifically late afternoon and tomorrow night, is a risk of severe thunderstorms. Severe thunderstorms have either or both large hail of an inch in diameter or greater, or straight line winds or a tornado with winds of 58 miles per hour or stronger. In orange, that is what we call the enhanced risk area. It's a level 3 out of 5. In yellow, which covers northern Cook, northern Kane, Lake and McHenry County, it's a slightly lower, well, slight risk, but slightly less of a risk of severe thunderstorms. It's a level 2 out of 5. All of Chicagoland has the potential of seeing severe weather tomorrow, late in the day or at night. So let's look at our computer model and see what kind of timing we're talking about. It's just such a shame. Today was so nice, and you're thinking, oh, spring is here, it's going to be glorious, and then we have to deal with tomorrow's storm threat. But it is March in Chicagoland, and you know what happens. Now, during the day tomorrow, temperatures are going to be falling, particularly near the lake and north. A lot of cloud cover, may even be some drizzle and fog at times coming off of the lake. But when do the storms get going? Our model is showing a few spotty showers at 7, but boy, that's not much going on until we kind of get into that 8, 9 o'clock time frame, and you see some scattered thunderstorms cruising through. Then maybe a gap before the next round of heavy rain and some embedded thunderstorms, likely not severe, coming through overnight into Wednesday morning. This could impact that Wednesday morning commute for you, with rain coming down, and there could be some locally heavy rain, and then cloud cover is going to linger for us most of the day on Wednesday, maybe a couple breaks here and there. But temperatures are going to really do a nosedive, and it's kind of tough to track what's going to be happening with the temperatures because a lot's going to go on. Severe storms with large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes are possible tomorrow. Highest tornado threat will be I-80 and Point South. That does not mean that there is zero tornado threat north of I-80. Highest tornado threat south. Timing, late afternoon and into the night. So I've talked about those temperatures. What are they going to be doing? Here at about 8 o'clock in the morning, look at the difference already between, say, Waukegan and Kankakee. 15-degree difference. Temperatures already dropping 40s and 50s in the city. And by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it's almost a 25-degree spread between lakeside areas and far south. And I think that 57 at O'Hare is not likely. I think that our number there is just too high. It's going to be cooler than that. I think 40s in the city, which ordinarily you'd say, well, it's too cool. We can't have a thunderstorm if it's 45 degrees. That's not the case. The temperatures where they're warmer are going to make the thunderstorms more likely to occur and perhaps a little bit more intense. But I want to stress that thunderstorms and severe weather can happen even with these temperatures. I think greatest risk of having something with a tornado is far south. But the interesting storm feature tomorrow may be not about damaging straight line winds, but it may be more about large hail coming down. Large hail is a definite threat to tomorrow's storms. Where are we right now? It's beautiful out. I mean, get out and enjoy it while you can, right? 63 at O'Hare and Midway. Joliet, 64. It's 63 at Waukegan, 57 at Valpo in Michigan City. And DeKalb, it is 61 degrees. And again, let's look at those temperatures for tomorrow, which won't be as warm across much of the area. I'm going to go with 58 for the official high at O'Hare. Remember, temperatures will be on the way down, and there you see those 70s showing up. Let's take a look at radar right now. Let me cue up the national radar and see where there might be any thunderstorms going on in the country. And you have some snow. Look at this. This is part of that boundary that's coming in here tomorrow that's going to separate the 40s from the 70s. We won't be dealing with snow like that, but there's a chance that a couple of snowflakes could come down in Chicagoland on Wednesday afternoon. Right now, some bigger thunderstorms flaring up in the Tennessee Valley, heading towards the Gulf Coast. But interestingly, see all that moisture that's out there in the southwest? That's an area of low pressure spinning away right here. A little piece of energy from that is going to be racing off to the northeast. That's what will be the key, along with the position of a warm front, in firing up the big thunderstorms that will be going on here tomorrow afternoon. So even though that's way out there in the Four Corners states, it's going to come zipping in here within 24 hours. Tonight, you're looking at partly to mostly cloudy skies with a low of 52 degrees. Maybe a little bit of patchy fog. Shouldn't be a big deal, though. And then tomorrow, be weather ready. Possibility of severe thunderstorms, especially late in the afternoon. I really think it's more likely at night, post 7 or 8 o'clock. And I'll put that average high of 58 degrees up there, even though 45 north, 72 south, and winds will kind of be in there, the west-southwest at speeds between 5 and 15 miles per hour. We're going to take a quick break and be right back with more weather and news for you right after this.